And welcome to Vancouver by Night, Bonfire for the Lost. Welcome to our final episode where everything meets the end. Now, before we get fully into it, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Petra Skelton. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm very happy to be running this game for all these wonderful people. And it's just hitting me now that this is like the last time, so I'm going to try and hold those emotions and not react. We'll save those to the end. If I cry, it's all of your fault. So I'm going to call your name. When I call your name, please say your name, your pronouns, and who your character is. And then, yeah, we'll go down the line. So starting with Aubrey.
Hello, I am Aubrey, and I play Morgan, our final girl, La Sombra, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Jesse.
Hello, my name is Jesse. I am playing the Thin Blood Khalees, who's just a little stinker.
Dani.
Hi, I'm Dani, pronouns she, they, and I'm playing Aotide, pronouns they, them, and I'm playing our Malkavian, who will make Petra cry.
Oh no! Now we're getting threats. Jeez.
Right.
Okay, B.
I had no threats prepared. Hey y'all, be Zelda they them, and I'm playing I'd say Malkavian as well, but like I'm bad at predicting the future anyway, so it's probably for the best, but I'm gonna predict that we're not all gonna survive.
Who's to say? Me. I'm to say. Anyways. So before we go straight into this, and in the interest of getting straight into the meat of things, we're going to go through our sponsors, these wonderful people that make it possible for us to run, play, exist within this space. Before I mention anybody else, I really want to mention Vancouver by Night. Steve has been an incredible producer. If you get the chance to watch more of his content, work with him as a producer, as a player, as a storyteller, he is an exceptional person. And I thoroughly recommend bring him into your spaces, sharing space with him. He's a good egg. I'm not gonna cry. So thank you to our sponsor, Mikhail Artoria of Artoria Designs, who creates beautiful dice boxes. Please visit him on Instagram. The link is in the chat. Illuminagents is a comedy web series that weaves real conspiracy theories into its sci-fi short-form episodes. Shot in Toronto, this indie production will leave you laughing and questioning reality at the same time. Watch season 1, which includes the musical finale episode, for free on Seeka.tv. Orc.style is an adults-only fantasy fetish fashion brand for all of you orc-loving monster huggers out there. Ooh, sentence. Orc-style shirts, underwear, and accessories are sure to drop your intelligence and increase your confidence by 10 points. They've also just released their Chompers Orc Tusks. They're perfect for cosplay, roleplay, and streaming. They put some wonderful magic into everything they make. Go and get you some fun stuff. Martlet Games. Martlet Games is a collective of tabletop RPG veterans ready to work for you, from tabletop RPG development to actual play production. They've contributed to various Storyteller Vault titles and sponsor channels like us to keep the world of darkness a haven for those with stories to tell. Visit their link in the chat to explore their world. They can help you create yours. Patrick's rad, too. Just got to say that. Roll for Adventure. Adventure Dice is your Canadian source for dice, role-playing game accessories, and other tabletop gaming goodies. Many of the items on their site are handcrafted in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. And last, but certainly not least, Demiplane, who has a wonderful VTT setup for kind of just the books. They're going to have character creation as well. They already do for Pathfinder, but for Vampire, that should be coming soon. Just a wonderful space to read books, like rule books, in a concise way and view rules in a way that doesn't have you digging for hours like you might if you're having the physical book. So heartily recommend. Now, let's get to it. So, your characters, there's a saying, where a person is racing to their end. But you're not racing. Hell, you're not even running. You're riding an elevator. There's no elevator music in this moment. Just air shared by 3 other people other than yourself who may or may not be breathing it. The scent of blood is unmistakable, but all of you being as glutted as you are, barely notice it. The number at the top of the elevator slowly ticks up, floor after floor after floor. You know where it's going. You know it's going to the 13th and final floor. But in this moment, when you pass floor 9, there's the briefest tug in all of your chests. Like a reminder of something. You're not sure what it was, but whatever it is, as you pass floor 9, it was left behind. Now, before we get to floor 13, I'll give you guys a chance to interact, just because who knows, this might be the last time that happens.
Morgan will look over at everybody, knowing what's coming, knowing what's up there, having some idea, and just go. August is not someone you mess lightly with. There's a chance that we all might meet the final deaths tonight. And you've come this far, but I wouldn't blame you for deciding to stay in the elevator when it arrives.
There's nothing you can do to make me stay in this elevator. We will fight.
I think this is what I'm supposed to do. We were all supposed to do, so I'm cool with it.
Is right. Not like August matters.
I've known him for a very long time.
Are you gonna miss him?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
That's good.
Do you have a plan for how we will execute this?
Not incredibly. I'm not used to working in a group. Usually solo act. But if anything, I'll try to keep him busy.
It shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, doing stuff with a group is just doing stuff solo, but with more people. So it shouldn't change too much.
Let's
It's
hope.
the most sensible thing we've heard you say.
Oh, that doesn't happen a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
I think it's useless to plan. I think we should just go with what feels right.
Just be careful. Watch the shadows. He can do the same things I can do, but more. I don't know how old he is.
Oh, what's another floor? I'd say, I like to, as I'm holding Adze's hand, I'm gonna put my other hand in my pocket, and I'm going to take out the steak I took earlier from one of the bottom floors, and I'm gonna put it in Adze's hand. I told you we would get you a weapon.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. This
Does
is the most
this
I've been thanked.
work against August? Truly work.
It should, yeah. Yeah, pointy end right through the heart.
And the
Adze.
heart is where I'll expect it.
Probably, yeah.
Adze, the wood feels as old as you know yourself to be, even if it's not. Even if this was hewn from a fresh tree, the wood feels old. It smells like the last time you were around a casket.
Oh.
It's something odd about it for sure, but nothing so much to be mystic, so much as maybe it's just memory. Finally, top reads 13. The door opens. A grand lobby to a top floor. Those of you that don't know August very well, just from this building, you may not be surprised by the lobby that awaits for you. It's chic in that sort of way that it would have been in the early 2000s. It's cold. Not clinically so, but corporately. Hard angles that don't so much suggest brutalism as they suggest brand loyalty. A large, equally cool steel desk sits to the right of large double doors at the end of this lobby. And behind that desk is a person who, looking up from whatever they're doing, goes,
Yes.
are you?
We're here to see August.
Yep. Okay. I didn't know there were going to be this many of you.
I think he was only expecting me, but, you know, picked up some strays along the way.
Yep. Yeah, okay. So everybody looking at this person is very easy to tell. If you step off the elevator, if you look, this person is human. They're just slightly older than their 20s. They're dressed for the job, kind of genderlessly yuppie in that sort of way, where they're wearing like the vest, the shirt, their hair is hewn tight and short to their head, but they look inoffensive in the sort of way that they're very likely in their own personal life very queer. Here in this space, they know to not be loud enough to get their boss's attention. And they kind of they grab some like they kind of reach for something, and they stop. Right, I'm supposed to you're not going to listen to me if I tell you what August wanted, are you?
We will hear your words, but no,
Mhm.
we will not heed them.
Okay. Am I gonna be able to leave?
I have no quarrel with you.
Well,
It sort of depends.
We are not hungry. Khalees, are you?
That's a lot of blood. Okay.
No, I'm not hungry.
Okay. Oh, I'm feeling a little faint. And they kind of like hold themselves up on the counter for a second. Just okay. How do you want to do this? Can I walk past you? You come in and I'll go to the elevator. Do you want to just go in? How? I don't.
Well, we don't want to break protocol, so shouldn't you phone us in?
Yeah, that's the thing I should do. Thank you. They reach for the phone. Pick it up. Mr. They take a breath, and in this moment, it's like the fear kind of disappears or dissipates, at least behind a mask for a moment. No, Mr. Argentum, you have 4 guests. Yes. They flinch away from the phone for a second. Yes, I'll send them in. You can proceed through.
I would like to turn invisible with unseen passage. I have to roll
Please
rouse.
do so. Yes,
I think
you
it
need to
was.
do a
Yes,
rouse
thank
check.
you.
Yes. Do
And-
that rouse check.
It's more of a automatic response to walking into a really stressful situation.
Fair.
I don't know what you mean. This is not stressful at all.
No, I was maybe not for you. I don't know about the rest of us.
Did you not see this person we just talked to?
Uh,
They're us right now.
yes, so 8. So that is a success. Nothing interesting except that I am
Whoosh.
invisible.
Okay.
I will let go of him as his head.
All right. So you turn invisible. You don't get more hungry as a result. That's nice.
It's good.
It's
Feels
very
all
good.
right.
Now, in this moment that might be one of Adsay's very last going invisible, can you describe for everyone what it looks like? Do you melt away? Are you just suddenly not there? How does it appear?
It's misty. It's foggy. It's like a fog just kind of settles through them until there's nothing left, and this unfelt breeze takes this mist away while they disappear.
Cool. So I'm assuming after that happens, y'all step out of the elevator.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
the first one out of that. Oh, that horrible
I
elevator.
am leading up the rear as usual.
I would like to activate Oblivion Sight as we exit off the elevator.
So here's a cool thing. I was really hoping you would do this. So
Please
please do so.
It says the cost is free. What does that mean? Does that
Yeah,
mean
it's on.
There is.
Yippee. Then yeah, do I still need to make a rouse check, or does it just like
I don't know if it requires a rouse check, actually.
If it says that it's free, no
It
route
does
check
not.
for thee.
Yep.
A good
Yeah.
rhyme.
Then yeah, you just see as Ayotunde steps off this elevator, like the second they take their footsteps across that threshold, their irises and their eyes become just jet black. And are almost a little disorienting to look at, as it's sort of like their senses of sort of expand further beyond, because they want to make sure they see everyone who is there in this moment.
Yep. So in this moment where that pall comes over you, perceive that which others would commonly miss. You remember downstairs. You remember the hallway of ghosts. And you know from experience that buildings past a certain point in age tend to have a few ghosts in them. Doesn't matter the floor. Especially corporate buildings. Capitalism demands a lot from people, and sometimes it demands their lives. In this instance, though, you see no ghosts. You see an empty room with a human, a very scared human, sitting at the edge there. Do you look back at your companions? Okay. So, your companions, there were only 3 of them, right? There were only 3 people with you. But Aubrey has a group around her, all dressed not for this era, all looking beyond her, their hands upon her back. There's confidence there. There's a strength there.
Ayrton sees that, and at first they seem like very uncomfortable in seeing that there are no other ghosts around. Suddenly the room feels very empty because Ayrton says they thought there was a lot more ghosts around. They thought there were spirits aplenty and things in the shadows, but in this moment, their own abilities are showing them that that was false. And then they look to Morgan and see these ghosts, and they smile a little bit. And they sort of tilt their head a little bit forward to be in to get closer to Morgan, and they say, "You have a lot of support with you. That's really cool."
There's like the tilt of the head, you know, like confused. What do you mean?
I mean, people you've lost are still there, and they believe in you right now. So that's pretty cool. That doesn't happen all the time.
And when you say people that you have lost, there's kind of a crack in the mask that is the face, sorrow in the eyes, and kind of just holding it together, you know, looking down, looking away, and quietly saying, I've never forgotten them.
And they haven't forgotten you. I'll just keep walking forward after that.
High emotion enough that I could almost put people through a will composure roll, but I'm not going to. Resolve composure is what I meant. But anyways, so you proceed forward, and as you do so, the administrative assistant moves to rise out of their seat to like going like the other side of the desk to try and like around. And as they do that, they notice something and they freeze. And they're staring down at their desk in like they just noticed something. Does anybody want to look at what they're staring at?
Idea.
Oh yeah.
I'm very nosy.
Okay, can everybody do me some kind of perception check to try and
I
figure this out?
can't.
Possibly a Wits investigation?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I want to call
indeed.
for.
Like-
Cool. Thank you.
I started looking for perception, like, wait.
No, that was my brain doing a thing.
No,
Mm.
you're good. Dude. Okay.
Mom gets involved enough in her own narratives that she forgets rules.
4 successes.
Well, this is gonna just be 2 successes that you need, that everybody needs.
5.
Nice.
Oh my god.
What'd you get? I done that.
So no successes. And I got a 1 on the hunger die.
Oh, we were all at hunger 0.
Yeah.
Oh right. Oh, never mind.
So you don't have to worry about the hunger die. You don't. No bestial failure for you.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Feeling
It was
good.
just so
Mhm.
unbelievably poor of a roll. Just
Just rip a person apart. What does Khalees get?
2 successes.
Okay.
Nice.
And I used wits awareness.
Ooh, okay, cool. So I can give you something slightly different then.
Yes.
So those of you that did wits and investigation, what you notice is literally the note that was tucked, sticky note that was like tucked on one side of the desk that Morgan, you notice, is in August's handwriting. It's in the place where you wouldn't see it unless you went around to this side of the desk. It had clearly been placed like this was anticipated. And the words say, cowardice will not be rewarded. Khalees. What you notice in this moment is you can see in this administrative assistant's mind, like in their demeanor, in everything, in their body language, there are 2 forces at play here. Their fear of death and their fear of August. They're trapped currently. They don't know which one, like neither is winning out in this moment. So they've frozen on the basis of you also notice, somebody got more than 4 successes, didn't they? Adze. So what you notice, I forgot to mention this, the handwriting is, for someone with all of this, you'd expect their handwriting to have a certain quality to it. Not cursive, but at least clean lines. The hand that wrote this was shaky. There's even a splotch of ink on one part of it, like a pen broke mid effort.
Okay. That screams of weakness. That feels good.
I would like to use my. I want to try and remember when I did my friends list discipline and I saw the strands of everything. I know that was mentioned that there was a bunch of, for the hunters, rest, rip in peace, those guys.
They ripped not in peace, but yeah.
They're ripped, very ripped.
Right. I remember seeing all those threads.
Yep.
I remember seeing the thread with sneakers. I'm wondering if there were any other people in here and if I had seen where their thread ends or if it goes beyond.
So it's good that you ask that. I won't get you to roll for anything for this because this makes sense to look into and to remember this. So this person has a string, that a red string specifically, that's not, it's like the one that's tied to them and going elsewhere, going beyond this building, is similar to yours, but the base of it, where the threads are you remember they almost felt alive in the sense that they look unwoven. Like there's a connection waiting there.
Police will speak up after kind of coming to terms with all that information that kind of flashes through. Khalees will start tutting, like, why
Huh?
worry about that reward when you have a greater reward waiting for you here?
You think I should leave or stay?
With us.
I can't go in there.
Why?
You've seen him. Yeah.
Please don't make me. Please.
Ailton is gonna start walking up to them. Very slowly. And despite them looking horrified, Ailton reaches out like to grab their hands. Even if they reach back, they're still going to try and just hold them, and they hold it very tightly.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna say that they are not gonna react in time for that. So they face of pure terror in this moment. Yeah.
You're very scared. You can be a ghost now or be a ghost later.
Mm.
I'll come with you. I will come. I'll open the door. And if you let go of them,
Yep.
they'll walk to the door. And with a very shaky hand, they open it for all of you. The room beyond is black. It looks like a wall of darkness. Like, we're talking this sort of darkness that... Have you ever been in a part of this city where you can't see the stars because of pollution? You can't see anything. Not yourself, not the city. It's just black. That's what awaits in that room. They, noting that none of the rest of you are probably gonna walk in without them, they nod and step in.
I'll follow.
I follow, and Ailton is gonna like put a hand behind their back to show that they're still there, like pushing them on with them.
Do Khalees and Morgan follow?
Yeah. Morgan will be the last one in and pull the doors closed behind them.
Okay. As you do that, and so who's at the front of this group? It's Adze and Ayotunde that are at the very front, right? Cool. Can you roll me a wits investigation roll?
Hey, why do we do
Yes.
that?
I'm good with that one.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. And remember, you have no hunger. You're like
We're not
full up, so
hungry.
you got no hunger,
Oh my god.
which
free
actually
to-
makes this roll worse.
Feel free to use willpower if you need to reroll some dice.
I need to use my willpower. Can I reroll like if I mark 2 willpower, can I reroll 2 dice, or is it only 1 per one?
1 for 3 dice. 1 willpower,
Oh.
you can roll up to 3 failures.
Got it. Thank you. Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
You don't need to spend multiple willpower on this roll. You're good.
This isn't D20.
A little bit of shade, it's fine.
I'm also gonna spend willpower. Why not?
Cool.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay.
There we go. Goodness.
You need over 2.
3 successes.
Excellent. Well done, guys. So you walking into this room, this pitch black pit of a room. You walk and you stop like a millimeter before glass. And if you reach out and touch it,
Uh-huh.
it goes taller than you are. If you pat around, it goes wider than you are.
Take a few steps backwards. Still invisible.
Petra, I have a question real quick. With Oblivion Sight, it says I can see within pitch blackness. Would that apply here?
Hoping you'd
If not,
ask.
it's
So, yes, in usual pitch black qualities, of course you can. In this, you can even see a little bit, but with this glass and the way you understand as you reach it why you weren't seeing anything beyond, it seems oddly glazed. But as you look beyond, if you press yourself against the glass, you can see a figure in the room beyond this wall. And what you notice is the figure, you can't pick out any features because of the glazing, but you see a humanoid figure standing there going like this. In the darkness.
Convulsing.
When you convulse, you don't blur the air around you.
I would also like to activate heightened senses.
Okay.
Sharpen my eyesight with the darkness.
Yep.
as
wanna
I said, it's like, oh goodness.
Sorry, I want to
No,
say this as somebody who's listening to us wanting to engage with this jump scare is just hilarious to me as somebody who hates jump scares.
Me too. Hey, can we turn around? let's
Where
go
we
to
get
Dani's
bonus
instead.
points for going forward.
Aubrey, do you need to do a rouse check for that, or is it just
It's
on?
free.
Okay,
It's
cool.
on.
So you see the wall of glass. Does Morgan walk up to touch it?
Yes, I think so.
You do so. And you hear a brief whir. And then there's a projection on this vast glass screen in front of you of August Argentum, staring down at you, looking larger than life. He feels like he's looking down directly at you, Morgan. And he says, "Hello, Morgan. I'm glad you came." And we're going to go to intermission right there. Yeah. So grab yourself a drink, have a good, like, do a bio break, do what you need to do. We will be back briefly with the conclusion of the conclusion, the last moments before the end. See you soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are in the epic conclusion of the end. So before we go into this, just as a small reminder, this is a horror game. This is a dark fantasy horror adventure, so we're going to tread close to some stuff that it's possible might make you uncomfortable as a viewer. If that happens, I encourage you to please step away, take a break. You can always skip forward in the VOD, which will go on YouTube shortly after this is up on screen. But you don't owe us that. Never prioritize us over your health. We want you to kind of live your best life, enjoy yourself. Same extends to all my players. Everybody has filled out lines and veils. We've gone over them again. Just so everybody is aware, and I even go through and make sure everybody knows what themes or topics we might be treading close to in a session, so everybody is kept well abreast of what's coming. Not everything, but just enough. So going back into it, giant glass screen. August's face looming down at you. You don't need to roll any kind of investigation or awareness to notice that the August that filmed this was not doing the best. August has never, if a human knew him and knew him as a human, they would say that August was the sort of man that never feared his age. He allowed himself to age gracefully. As a vampire, of course, you know that's absolutely not true. Otherwise, he'd already be dead, and this wouldn't even be an issue.
Of course.
But here, more than ever before, he looks his age. His cheeks are sallow. The pits of his eyes are deep. He looks like, well, he looks like he's starving. But holding himself up like an octogenarian that's just filled with hate. He just holds himself there and looks down at you. Well, I'm glad you came. I know we haven't had the best relationship, Morgan. I've tried to do good by you. I've given you everything I ever had. And I handled you walking away from all of that as I would any child getting bored with responsibility. But I needed you to know, end of the day, end of the night. Look, he looks up for a moment. The end of everything. I still have love for you. So I've done what I could to protect you. What you do with that gift, that's your business. You won't see me again. I think we both know that. I'm sorry you didn't get to have a face-to-face. To those that are with you, I don't know your names. The ritual didn't teach me that, nor is my skill so great that I could see beyond my own confines. But I know you're there. If you can do anything for me, this stranger, help Morgan one last time. And the projection cuts out.
What? I will not help you for him. I will help you for myself.
As always.
And is he dying? Truly?
I don't know. But something is happening.
Wits and perception from everybody.
Ah.
Or wits and awareness, or wits and investigation. I'm just going to keep saying wits and perception because my
Yeah.
brain is bad.
It's all right. We know what to do now.
Would my specialty in deduction help me with this?
Sure, yeah, actually it would. Yes.
Nice.
If you roll wits awareness, I will give you insight into August. If you roll wits investigation, I'm going to give you a physical clue as to a thing that's about to happen. Your choice, which you roll.
Awareness.
Okay.
For 4 successes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And was that
Yeah.
perception or awareness or
Investigation.
Investigation.
This was investigation.
Cool. Ayatunde?
I got 4 successes for wits
Nice.
awareness.
Nice. And Khalees. I'm curious.
So, you know, I appreciate what you gave us as a group to have 0 hunger, but I did rouse my blood and I did fail, so now I am at 1 hunger.
Ah. Yes.
But I did get 6 on a wits awareness because I blood searched.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So, and there was wits. So those of you that did wits and awareness, those of you that got 2 and above, what you see in this what you saw with August, you've seen a vampire that is super fucking hungry. That's what was in front of you. Anybody that got 3 and above, that wasn't the only thing pulling at him. Something else was tugging. Those of you that got 4 and above, you've heard stories. Elder vampires have felt a tug towards somewhere where they aren't. Dreams, thoughts of a vast desert awaiting them. Some claimed it was signs of the end times, signs of Gehenna. Others weren't so sure. But it's rare that a calling to the blood of someone so ancient could be so powerful. Those of you that got 6 and above, there, August, in that moment, every last bit of willpower in that man was being expended in that moment. like sitting like someone trying to talk after they've lit themselves aflame. He was losing control even as he reached the end of his last word of that last sentence. You were almost positive that might have been where August ended. Now, those of you who rolled perception have noticed that said administrative assistant has retreated to the wall, and you got 2 successes. So if you'd only gotten 1, I would have just basically implied to you that they were trying to run. Because you got 2 successes, I will tell you they're reaching for the light to turn it on. Does everybody let that happen? Or Morgan, do you let that happen?
Oh God, it's probably a horrible idea, but probably yes, because whatever comes next.
The light goes on, and the lights above you, big pot lights, the room around you matches that same 2000s era yuppie corporate aesthetic, except for that wall of glass that you now realize that glaze is blood from the other side. Just streaks of it, just a mess of it, just blackened chunks against this glass. And I'm gonna roll because just gonna see how this person's doing.
They're about to pass out right now.
They handle this remarkably well. They flatten a little against the wall. But you can see them holding back down emotion and possibly other wretchedness that risks to rise at the sight of that.
This glass structure, now that the light is on, can we see if there's any opening?
So you can see that there is, looks like something has been inset, that it looks like if you open it, this isn't getting closed again. It's designed to not so much be a doorway, so much as there was clearly, like, when this glass was put in, or this plexi, whatever it is, there was like a divot put into it so that you could, with reasonable strength, go and pop it out. But it's not a doorway necessarily.
Okay.
Is there just the one figure in there?
So with your heightened senses, now that there's light everywhere, yes, there's only one figure in there. You see slight obscured silhouette that's twitching and moving oddly. You think it's standing still, and then you realize it's not. It is moving around, but in like an aimless sort of way. It's difficult to see just because of all of the gore smeared across the wall.
Isn't there, like, even though like that sort of projection ended, it looks like they're still sort of staring up at it. They looked around when the lights turned on because that was sudden. But then they looked right back, sort of where it was, even though it's not playing. And Anthony looks maybe. Anthony hasn't looked angry since this entire thing started, because they only ever really smiled except for the very, very rare occasion where they smiled a little less. This is the very rare time where they are not smiling and they look like genuinely pissed off. Um, and then they just very slowly turn to Morgan and they just sort of stare at you and wait.
And Morgan looks around, seeing this, and just goes, pretty sure he's in there. Or whatever's left of him is in there. It's probably not him anymore.
From a section of, near the glass, you hear, so what is our purpose then? How do we destroy him? I don't want to be trapped in there forever.
I think it probably involves some incredible violence.
The shutter release is in there.
The what?
The administrative assistant speaks up for a second.
Oh.
The key fob to release the shutters is in there. The only other one I tossed out a window after activating them.
Do I have a watch?
Yes.
What time is it?
Oh, such a good question. I was hoping somebody would ask this. So, remember when you passed the 9th floor and I said that there was a slight tug?
Oh.
It's close to the end of a night, to be sure, closer to the beginning of something else.
Ooh. And it's in the...
Yeah, it is.
We might have a little bit of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The day is soon.
Oh, we're running out of time.
Reaching to, pull out my knife and just being like, well, let's make it quick then.
Do you move to the door?
Mm-hmm.
Start moving towards the door. Take a minute or so. Take my time a little bit, just to give everybody else that time to prepare themselves.
Aotan is gonna take off the jacket they were wearing. And it is now shown strapped to their back. Hidden is just like a full. I forgot what kind of gun it was. I think I said it was a shotgun.
He says shotgun, yeah, because we're discussing something about it being sawed off, so we would notice it there.
Yeah, it was a sawed off shotgun. Just sort of there, but they sort of take that, and they walk over to the assistant, and so I'll just shove it in their hands. I'm very angry, so that was my act of violence. Thank you. And then they start walking back, and they just sort of walk towards that glass space. No matter if Morgan opens it or not, Ayrton is walking like as if they're about to walk through it, essentially.
And Morgan has her knife ready to like pry it open. It's just kind of waiting for everyone else to be ready for this, like whatever it entails.
Khalees is not gonna do anything different because Khalees has been ready for this for a very long time.
I mean, same. I'm invisible. I have a stake now.
We're good. We're good here.
You're living
I'm
life.
prepared. Yeah.
Present and accounted for.
Well, not at Aotunde, not at Khalees, but just go, well, I hope you're ready. And then I'm just going to jam the knife in there and just try to pop this thing open.
It's, well, you know what? I've heard of worse reasons to do a strength check. So let's do it.
Strength and...
melee.
Strength and melee. And I have a spec in knives.
Yeah, nice. It's almost like I knew that. It's almost like I'm staring at your sheet. What?
What?
Literally have all of your sheets in front of me right now. Wish I had a gesture screen with Minority Report stuff.
5 successes.
5? Okay, so you jam that in. It's just a slight wrenching noise, and then just there's the sound of sucking air as it's wrenched, and the stink of blood just washes past you. And then there's the vague, sticky sound of dried and very wet blood wrenching from itself as the door slams open, like falls open.
Mhm.
And you get your first sight of what's left of August. A body stands at the center of the room, skin drawn to the bones, hands clutched upwards, fingers moving, clenching, squeezing. It is whispering to itself, whatever this thing that isn't August is, but it's whispering to itself in more than one voice. As it steps, you realize that the reason you were seeing that blurring around it is as it moves, it's like its shadow keeps vibrating around it. And you step into the room and just and it's going to lunge at you. So let's determine who's going first here. It's specifically lunging at Morgan right now.
Mhm. Well, if it's lunging at me, I'd like to try and move in a way that I can kind of flip it over or move past it and take a strike with my knife at it.
Nice. Okay. So that'll be dexterity melee.
Sounds good. And you know what? Because this is the time for it, I'm going to rouse. And there's a 7 on the dice, so I don't get hungrier.
That's good. Although it wouldn't be too much of a problem considering all of the blood that's everywhere.
Yep. But hi, yes, this is 10 dice.
Okay.
Dexterity, melee, knives, one of my best. And then
Are you from Morgan to one shot this? right now?
arouse. Wait, no, is it 10? So it's
I can't wait for the Morgan carry.
no, it's 11.
I cannot wait for the Morgan carry.
Sorry. Okay, 11 dice. I thought you said 11 successes, and I was like,
No,
10
it's
dice,
not.
11 successes. I mean, it's possible.
it is actually,
I mean,
yeah.
it's possible. For Morgan, I believe it.
Mm.
$13.
Ha!
I
Make a
had
fool
2
of
pairs
us.
of 10s. I had 4
Yes.
10s.
Oh my god.
Okay. So here's what happens. It lunges at Morgan, and Morgan, you do that spin around slash at its back.
Mhm.
As you do that, it screeches and falls forward dead. And then it rises, it like starts lifting itself back up. For those of you with unseen sight, it's currently active. You saw it die. It's getting back up. Ayutante.
Okay. 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 Um. Okay. I would like to. Uh. They said the. Oh my goodness! Every word in the dictionary just left my brain.
Okay.
Is they said the thing to open the shutter was in this room.
Yes, the key.
The key. And do we see the shutter? Like,
Yeah, you can do a wits investigation roll for me to find it.
yeah, I would just love to do that. Morgan's got this right now.
It is in supernatural darkness after all, so
Yeah.
I'm good with supernatural darkness right now. Let's see. Okay, I got 2 successes.
So you don't see it specifically, but you have to assume it's where the desk would be, and you can see the desk.
Okay.
So do you want to head in that direction?
I think Arizona is just like sort of walking over there, just past whatever this is, because this isn't August, and that's insulting. Um, so truly, they're just walking towards this with a purpose. And yeah, they're gonna take off the sawed shotgun off their back and just sort of hold it very, very tightly as they walk.
Okay. Adze.
Didn't you give the shotgun to the assistant?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, I get my coat to the assistant.
There you go.
Oh, I thought you gave the shotgun to them.
They don't get a weapon.
That's what I was
fine.
figuring. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's great.
Then I, the storyteller, was confused. I was like, okay.
No. They get my coat.
They have not entered this part of the room yet. I will just say, by the way.
That's fair.
Invisibly, I will follow Ayotunde though to keep just a short distance behind. I'm leery of that thing on the ground. This scene is very reminiscent of what we kind of witnessed with that werewolf lupine, and it's not making me feel great.
Yeah.
Starting to hunch a bit more, never mind humanity. I'm just not.
As you move with Ayotunde, one sec. Okay. You notice that the ground itself seems cloying to your steps. It's like it's like stepping in mud right now. Do you look down?
Yeah.
So the shadows on the ground are like failing, but trying to grab hold of your feet and just slipping off of you right now.
I think it's like I'm gonna hiss, and then to Ayotunde, these shadows, they are trying to take us. They touch. It's pathetic, but they touch.
Not for long. It's okay.
Police.
I have so many questions, but I'm not going to be able to get them all answered. So I'm going to do what Khalees would probably do, which is to feel the situation out. So, because Ayotunde and Adze are heading to the shutter control, Morgan is doing something cool again. And I think that that Khalees is going to step out, but sort of like do this like big circle, kind of like almost in the middle to kind of keep an eye on both situations. Because if that creature gets out of hand, then Khalees will go help there. And if Ayotunde and Adze are struggling, Khalees is going to go to them. So I guess that's a fancy way of saying I'm holding.
Yep. No, totally. That makes complete sense. And yeah, I love that everybody's actions are very driven by their characters. So it begins to wrench itself off of the ground, and as it does it, the fragility of this form begins to crackle. You hear bones break as it moves. It's whatever is driving it seems more confined by this body than it does piloting it. It wrenches itself up and just tries, and I'm going to roll for it to attack Morgan before Morgan does a thing again.
But Morgan gets 15 successes.
So, haha, cool. Sorry, I'm just sorry, Morgan. I'm just checking your health. So, can you take 3 lethal for me? Unless you
Okay.
have armor. Oh, sorry.
I was like, I have a leather jacket.
This thing that isn't August grabs you, and it doesn't have claws. You see, its hands just from scratching or something. It's like the bones have worn through, so digs into you, and it just tries to claw itself up. At which point, you can do something. It's not arresting your movement, but it is like grabbing a hold of you.
You know what? I would if we're gonna play this game, I would like to manifest the arms of Ahriman and attempt to grapple it as well. Pull it off of me.
Cool, 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 cool.
I do get hungrier.
Okay, cool. This is very bad that a bunch of you are getting hungrier and there's a human behind you.
Yep.
It could be
Not good
alright.
for them.
They're chilling.
We're just not thinking about that. And then it's going to be a wits plus oblivion to grapple them, and I'm also going to rouse one more time, and I'm good on that one though.
Cool. That would suck. Get double hungrier.
I've seen it happen before.
Worth it.
That is only 4 successes this time.
Okay. Still, can you describe what the arms of Ahriman do in this case?
My shadow melts and sort of reforms, and all of these arms reach up from it and grab whatever this was from behind and just sort of pulls it away from me, back towards shadows and things like where, and then I will give chase, essentially. It pulls it towards a group of shadows, and then I continue following it with the intention to stab it next turn.
So you grabs, pulls away, and you can see it breaking even under this. You see it gives up for a moment, possibly dying again, and then twitches again. Ayotunde, you're at the desk. You're looking for this key fob. You don't have to look too long. You see it. You see the key fob from where it lays, where it lies, see where it lies, and you even see the shutter controls set into the desk, clearly a late addition.
I didn't think I was gonna get this far. Okay. You see, okay. I see the shutter controls. Does it just look like it's just like open close? Does it look like there's any other special?
It looks like basically you plug it in and then twist, and then that will undo the lockdown.
Got you. Okay. Real quick, I just want in this moment, can I real quick check what time it is? Is it still like I know Khalees was like, it's almost morning. I didn't see the time specifically. As like Tony's hand is like reaching.
Police would never say the actual time.
Yeah.
So fair. It's just like reaching to like turn off the shutters. They're just gonna check as their hand is reaching out what time it is.
Oh, you have a watch?
Do you have a way to tell time? Yeah, sorry.
That's right. I was gonna can I have my phone?
If you have a phone, it's not working. I regret to tell you.
Right. That's so fair.
Yeah, I can only tell sundials, so I'm no good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you've spent way too much time around a Lasombra for any kind of technology to work right now.
You know what? That's so real. That yeah, it's not an age of future for the controls. I'll say I'd say, are you beside me right now?
Yes, we are.
I recognize when I do stupid things because I do it a lot. So what do I do?
Continue to do stupid things. That is the pattern you do.
Anthony will actually finally smile again. And they will turn off the shutters to, yeah.
Okay, so the shutters. The sound is immediate. You hear. It's not this floor initially, but then the windows, the large bay windows that looked like walls because of the shutters that are in front of you, past the desk, behind the desk, begin to open. And as they begin to open, red light bleeds into the room.
Hold on. Is it like normal red light bleeding into the room? Or is it like some sort of strange supernatural red light bleeding through the room? I feel like there's a distinction between sunrise and whatever this might be.
That's a really good point. So as it opens, as this light bleeds into the room, it feels too deep to be sunrise. There's a bit of the night still clinging to it. But as the light bleeds more and more and more into the room, and it hits the shadows holding this thing, it gives one final wrenching twist and gives up. The light continues. At this point, does anybody move to get out of the way?
Okay,
of the light,
yes,
is what I should
so-
ask.
I'm gonna
Yes,
take
yes.
Hyundai's hand, and we're gonna hide under the desk.
So this is, I will say, this is going to be a willpower check for everybody because there's an elemental fear for the sun that a lot of vampires have.
Yeah.
Police, you do not have to test.
Huh?
Um,
Oh, never
I
mind.
can half blood. Or what
I
is it?
can-
Half blood?
It's
No, what are you?
thin
Soft
blood.
Thin blood.
blood.
Soft blood.
Soft blood?
So-
I like it.
Soft blood.
What
He's
it-
anything but soft, but it's fine.
That's
Uh,
a comfort core vampire would call themselves soft.
Aw,
And it's what unspent willpower plus what third of humanity?
Yes.
Oh, wait, which goes up to
Hey,
2 for me. which is
wait,
good.
hey Petra, what would that be?
Sorry, Morgan, Aubrey, can you repeat that for Dani and for our listeners?
So a willpower against frenzy. That would be your unspent willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity that you add and roll. No hunger dice,
Got
Okay.
you.
and you can't
Okay.
reroll this.
Oh yeah, okay, I can count. I can do math. Okay.
1/3 of your remaining humanity. Okay.
3 successes for me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm doing fractions, I think. Make up today and say I want to do fractions. Divisions, that's gonna be
5 successes.
Wow, everybody's doing good.
3 successes.
Okay.
Ah,
Well, that was our floor, so everybody got above 3, right?
Yep.
Good. So in this moment, every part of you wants to wrench itself away from this red light, this elemental fear of the rising sun. But then, police, you are standing in the room. You were circling around as Iotunde did the unlocked shutters. Does Khalees shrink back from the light?
Police has nothing to fear from the light.
Okay. So you see this red light touch Khalees and begin traveling up their body as it fills the room. And for some reason, that calms you. I'm not going to control anybody's character. If they want to run from this, they can. But in this moment, you do not feel afraid.
Still not eager to be in the red light, so shift back, move back, but not running. It's kind of the slow measure, just would prefer not to. I have an aversion to light in general, but it's not one that makes me want to run away right now.
Elise, do you walk up to the window?
I feel like the threat in regards to whatever's left of August, do I feel like the light's going to take care of that? Then I'm going to relax. Sort of from there was a moment where Khalees was kind of crouched, kind of prepared to help either group in whatever they needed. But once Khalees is distinctly aware that it's over, will sort of relax, straighten up, and curiously go towards the window.
As you approach and the shutters reach their terminus, you look up. You see peeking between two buildings, two skyscrapers, hangs the moon. And the sun, it's difficult to tell. What matters is that it's red, hanging in the sky. And you don't need to pull from your abilities, from your tricks. See the threads bleeding off of it, looking as though they're bleeding into the horizon.
Police is gonna trace the glass, sliding their hands across the glass to kind of trace the lines heading towards the moon, and then look back to the others and say, "It's almost time. It's almost time."
Time for what?
The reason why we were all here in the first place.
Just to check, did Ade still pull Aotunde under the desk? uh, Great, thank you.
Yep,
That
we're
feels
hiding.
right. This feels nice. Holding onto the invisible hand very tightly. Well, Aotunde just like tilts their head at Khalees and says, I don't think we all came here for the same reason, though the same reason might have been why we came.
Okay,
What is
yes,
that?
fair. You all came here for your own reason. Either by going with the flow or revenge, right? But for some reason, all of these things happened here. That's the reason I'm talking about.
So what part do we play in that reason?
Oh, no.
Want to crawl out invisibly with that stake that I held on to. What's left of the figure of the form that was once August?
Shriveled and just left there, looking like every bit the racked corpse it was.
For good measure, I'm gonna do something that I trust, something that I know, and that's killing. Doing it the way I know best, quietly, silently, without being seen. And I would like to stake August.
You won't need to roll anything for this. You stab it down. And as you do that, have you killed many vampires, Adze?
No. It's hard to do that and stay hidden.
This won't be the last one you kill.
That's a feeling.
There's an echo of familiarity in the action. From where you are kneeling, having staked August's body, you can see the moon. And for once, it doesn't scare you.
Oh. I have never felt like this. And I know it sounds macabre, but I kind of want to cradle the skull of what's left of this corpse. Well, bathed in this red light, finally being able to look at the moon and not be stricken in fear.
Ayotunde. Hidden under this desk. Hiding from whatever that is. Hiding from the idea that you might have all come here for the same purpose. You can see something surging around everything. They don't look like ghosts. It looks like something else bleeding off of everyone. If you move your hands towards it, it runs through your fingers. They'll call you a miracle worker because they won't have other names for you. Morgan. You're still hidden from the light?
A little bit, yeah. It's just sort of the nature is to stay away from light and the sources of it. It's something that was bestial and driven into me for years. Old habits, hard to break.
Yeah. You remember sitting at a gas station with your friends before that fateful trip. You remember sharing a smoke. For the first time in decades, you remember what it feels like to be around people, to want to be around people.
Slowly, I think Morgan comes out of the shadows, and sort of if Khalees is just standing there looking out, Morgan will sort of silently come stand next to them. Not saying anything, not doing anything, just sort of hands in the pocket of her jacket, looking out over whatever this is.
Police. Staring up at this new whatever it is. Call it Gehenna, call it the end. There's warmth here in knowing that these threads continue forward. You continue forward. For the first time, you realize and recognize your string, your thread doesn't connect to that moon, that thing. It's bled down into the earth, where you are tied for the first time.
Elise is puzzled and pulls back for a moment away from the glass. They're all attached to the moon.
That's a good question. No, not anymore.
I don't understand, but I feel like Khalees would. This is another one of those things where I feel like Khalees would, but I don't quite understand. So can I roll a dice to figure out what Khalees is probably figuring out right now?
Sure, definitely.
Intelligence awareness?
Sure, occult would also work in this case.
Same, one more die, one extra die on that one. So, and I am hungrier, so I will use one of my hunger die here.
Okay.
I'm going to search. I pass. I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay, spending a willpower.
I'll change 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
4 dice. No one on the hunger die. Nothing crazy is going to happen here, I assume.
So, thin bloods are called many things. They've been perceived as many things for many centuries. A doom, a curse, something that represents the end of the bloodlines, a terminus. But for this first point, a new word comes to Khalees's mind, which is the word heir. Who inherits the world after the end, but those that are left?
Gehenna is known as an end to the vampires, right? Khalees is not classified as a vampire. So when it comes to Gehenna, Khalees doesn't get to be a part of it. you guys are all vampires. Are you now?
An excellent question.
How can you figure out if somebody's still a vampire?
I did just take a lot of wounds. Am I bleeding?
You are bleeding.
I imagine I sort of pull my jacket back and like
And it
look.
hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
And it's like the first time just like the metaphorical adrenaline is gone. And I pull the jacket back to just reveal these wounds. And that's just like, it's not supposed to happen. Just like poke at it, just being like, why? It's been, should be.
Police is going to go over to the desk. There's a
Mhm.
paperweight there, surely, right?
Mhm.
Grab the paperweight and throw it at Morgan.
Okay.
You get,
Hope
And,
that
and
Okay.
Cleese will say, dodge this.
okay, we'll attempt to dodge that.
Yeah, do it. You cannot spend blood on this.
Okay. I mean, is it what dexterity athletics?
Yeah, dexterity athletics.
Okay. Still a pretty good pool for me. Yeah, that's like 4 successes.
Okay, you dodge it, but it's not in a supernatural way.
Just sidestep.
Yeah.
It just goes bonk.
Lisa's gonna go over to Adze and just go.
Am I
Adze,
invisible?
you are not.
Oh no. Well, I'm spooked. Because
Are you gonna try and go invisible?
yes. I don't
Okay.
even know what that's gonna look like. It's just like this like flexing of the soul, but a little bit of flexing in the body.
So you do it, and here's where it gets interesting, because a little bit of mist, that misty starts and then just stops. It dissipates.
Can you see me?
Can you see? And he looks to Ayatunde. Can you see?
Do I see, if I look, I don't see any ghosts. Do I feel like I sense or feel any spirits at all? Just
Oh.
Ayatunde looks very solely up to you, Khalees, and just and they sort of start very sadly crawling over to you all because they suddenly feel this room feels emptier now. And I just sort of call over to you all, specifically Adze, and then just like reaches for your hand.
I give my very confused hand that I was spending a lot of time looking at, like, we are seen.
Oh God, does anyone have a first aid kit? Oh, this hurts.
What?
The next hour, as you try and figure this out, you don't even notice the sun has risen until it's touching you. And you are fine. It feels warm against your skin.
Ayatunde, I think I keep taking like our hands and like putting it into like the sun and then taking it and moving it into a shadow and then putting it back into the sun. So like if I burn, you'll burn with me, but also it looks nice,
No, if it's her, I'm there.
None of that happens. It's just
As Morgan realizes that, she sits in front of the window, probably just continuing to bandage her wounds, she remembers slowly what it's like to be human again.
You notice finally sitting there looking out at the city, not focusing on that red moon as you were, as you all get a chance to look at the city. The city's on fire.
There's a slight problem.
The world that waits outside this building will be a new one, but then so are all of you. And that's where we're going to end it.
Chills.
So this has been our final session. I've been Petra Skelton, and I've been incredibly blessed to have these wonderful people who I'm very sorry I put you through the end of the world. But we're going to go through, and I'm not going to get emotional. I'm going to hold that together. I'll have my breakdown afterwards. It's fine. So I'm going to call your name, and we're going to go through like we did before. This time, not just your name, your pronouns, and who you're playing. Tell everybody where we can see you next, because everybody's going to want to see what you're working on right now. And I know so many of you are developing incredible projects. So let's start with B.
Heck. Hi. This was a journey, an adventure, a trial, a gauntlet. And I don't know if we really came out better. I really have to wonder. But like, hey, dang. So I've been B Zelda, they them pronouns. You can find me on every social media platform as BZelda_. I'm a podcaster, a TTRPG streamer, and the community manager for Kitten Cup Studio, because y'all, if you need something a little bit more wholesome, something that doesn't make your heart feel empty and hollow, and then like somebody has thrown it onto the ground covered in dirt and then stepped on it, you should look at the game Pico, because it's about cats and cats making tea, because that's the opposite vibe of this. Oh.
Okay, Dani.
Do I look like someone who's ready right now? Hi, I'm Dani. Hi, I'm Dani, or Dani's Corner. I animated pizza on Twitter. Pronouns she, they. I've been Ayotunde. Hi. That was wild. I love that. Okay. Hello. Okay. We're here. Hi. You can find me over on my Twitch, Dani's Corner, where I stream variety content, sometimes art, sometimes Minecraft gaming, a lot of stuff where I play a character, so that's funky. You can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay every other Wednesday for Stardust Ghosts, sort of anime mecha sort of story where we're discovering what it means to be human and figuring out that, hey, we can maybe make things a bit better. Then you can find me on Cybernation Uncensored once a month for our Monster of the Week game, Ghost Hunters, where we're just a gang of friends trying to figure out ghosts for this rich guy who wants immortality. And then besides that, I'm also an admin for the all-lesbian gaming group Hearth Guild. I believe, I'm not sure when this comes out, but either before or after we may. Oh wait, no. Okay, we're currently in the middle, or we should be, of our charity, our month-long charity event, for currently undecided charity. But you should go check out at Hearth Guild with an S to see information on that, and also keep a lookout over there, because in July we have a panel in Kineticon. So if you're nearby, maybe you can stop by and figure out more information on that, and just support the lesbians in need. And yeah, I also have a Ko-Fi. That's Ko-Fi Dani's Corner. So if you want art, you can commission me. That's it. I will go back to being totally normal about the story.
Jesse, speaking of totally normal about the story, Jesse.
I'm sorry, was that completely not normal? Hi, my name is Jesse, he, him pronouns. I play Khalees, who is pleased with the end result. You can find me over at Jacqueline Hare on Twitch, the Himbo Gamer on Twitter, and Jacqueline Hare on Etsy, where we sell nerdy wares and enamel pins. Had a great time. Looking forward to more games in the future. I don't have any, but you know, if you're interested, I'm here. Bye. That's all I got.
Aubrey.
Hello, I am Aubrey. You can find me everywhere on the internet at McQueen Cosplay. I am the GM and co-producer for Goblins and Gates, which is Pathfinder content. It's really great. We are in the second half of our final season for our first campaign, so go check that out. I'm the technical director over at Queen's Court Games, and when this is coming out, I believe we have one more episode left of our Pride Month game. I am running a all trans kids on brooms game, set in a homebrew world that I've actually been building for about 2 years at this point. And it is going to be on Mondays over on Queen's Court. The final episode should be this upcoming Monday. And it is awesome. I have a fantastic cast. You should all go check it out. You can find the links to all the rest of my stuff. I do way too many things, and people should tell me to do less things on my Twitter.
And I'm Petra Skelton, and I have been deeply pleased to be the storyteller for this. You can find me at Pre-Apocalypse pretty much everywhere. Whether it's itch.io, Ko-fi, Twitter, probably Blue Sky if I get an invite. We'll see what happens there. You can see me next. I will be a part of Exquisite Corpses Pride Month. I'll be running a game for them. So that'll likely be happening synonymous with this. Don't have any details yet, though. Later on in this month, you will be able to see my live in-studio filmed Avatar Legends campaign, where we're going to an era closer to that of Wan, the first Avatar, and exploring the mythic wuxia of that setting. It's going to be really cool. We got costumes, we got sets. It's going to be a great time. Otherwise, I'm here. I'm writing stuff. I'm making other weird things. This was one of some of the most fun I've had in a long time. So I really appreciate everybody being involved. I have to really thank Vancouver by Night, Stephen Lambert, for having us in here and just kicking ass. Once again, just going to say this wouldn't have happened without him. So go celebrate him. Subscribe. Do those things. Keep this channel alive. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you soon, hopefully. We'll see.